because we've had trouble with Mojo. We've had all our big stuff has had. Now our YouTube's nice and slow.
Hey, there we go.
Huh?
I said there we go.
You get over there?
Not yet, but I'm getting
Okay.
close. Yep, I'm good.
I'm good. All right. Hello and welcome, everybody. We are the Journey to Healing team. I'm Tammy. It's hubby Lance. We're over here trying to get this show up and going. We'll apologize. There are some issues with some tech issues today. The Wi-Fi and the internet just seems to be dragging and lagging today. So we're going to do the best we can do. If we glitch, freeze up, anything like that, or get kicked out, sign right back on. We'll get right back in. But come on in and welcome. It is a big week here. We are doing all of our coaching classes, and it is also Dr. Boz's 21-day metabolic kick. So you guys know how exciting that is to be a part of. And it's one of those things, it's not just what we're doing, but it's committing to your health for 21 days. So that is the thing that is so beautiful in it that I love to see when, you know what, it's time to focus. Kids are back in school. Everybody's getting back into the fall routine and everything. And I love to just be able to say, you know what, let's work on our calendars. Let's sit down and make life a priority, make our health a priority. It's not just about what we can do for everybody else. Sometimes most of us got to hit pause for a minute and say, you know what can we do for ourselves? What can I do for my health? What can I do to get me back on track? And we do that as a tribe. And I want to encourage each of you to do that as you're going into fall. Get your schedule out, make yourself a priority. And I know myself, I struggle with doing that. And I'm learning if I don't put it on my calendar, it don't happen. So it's one of those, if I got to schedule my own time in or time off on my calendar, then I've got somebody nudging me here that I need to do that. So we're going to do it. So we have some exciting things going on. We are going to start the sardine challenge. Dr. Boz's group is doing it this weekend. So we are going to be doing it. We did pork belly tonight though.
I did sardines and pork belly.
He did both.
So
right?
It was good.
So we were able to get pork belly in and done. Good fats, good proteins and everything. I'm going to start the sardines tomorrow. I can't do both in one meal. So shut up.
I can't even find that pork belly where I'm at.
Oh, that's a
Been
shame.
looking.
Where'd they go?
What are you doing?
Looking for my sardines.
Right there.
Like it's hiding behind my water
It's been
bottle.
a long day.
It's been a long week. Okay, guys. So here's the one. Y'all know how I feel about these sardines. They're not my favorite, but I'm telling you, I am able to get this one down raw, without air frying them, without adding anything to it. I put some salt on it and I was able to get these down. So these are over on the Amazon storefront. They are a new brand for us. I've never had these ones. This is the first time we got them in, and I'm telling you, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're definitely going to be the ones that stay in my cupboard. The same company that the kippers come from.
Their name is Polar.
Polar. So if you want to get me that, oh wait, no, I can get that one. So I'm just really excited about it. And then there's the cod livers. Y'all seen my video that I made over the cod livers, and Olivia's in the house, so we'll let her come in and explain. We're making our superhero cake patties for that Olivia made up. But the cod livers, I had myself so worked up for them, and they are not that bad. So I'm really excited to
That's the one I'm going to say no to.
He won't.
Can't do it.
He can do the sardines, but he
can do sardines, but not the cod liver.
And I do the cod liver any day over the sardines. So it's one of those, you just got to try the things. You never know. Sometimes it's a texture thing. Sometimes whatever it is, we just got to get them in. Yeah, they're just good stuff. And again, we don't always take it because it's good and we love it. It just needs to go in. It's what my body needs for nutrition right now. And we're going to make it happen.
Actually found a good one. She bought some that I haven't tried yet. And they're called Brunswick. They are the sardine fillets, and they're butterflied, and they are like excellent. There's like no tails on them. There's hardly any scale to them. They're just right out of the can, right in spring water, dump out the water, and it's game on. So that's going to be my new favorite.
Whatever you can
I would show you, but I ate the last one.
Hey, we'll take whatever we can get. The other thing, I heard you guys talking about the Braunschweiger. That I heard you guys talking about that. Be mindful of those. Those do have some good liver and things in them, but be mindful of the fillers in them, because those can hang a right really quick or hang a left really quick, because they go from being just liver and no big deal to a whole bunch of fillers and a whole bunch of caca in there that we don't want.
And it could be some nasty salt in there as well.
Yeah, so be mindful of, be mindful of that before you check. Make sure when we're talking about turning the pillars or the packages around and reading the back of it, make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're checking first how many carbs per serving, how big it, what the size of the serving is, and then you go down to the ingredients level and check it out and see what it is. We don't want a bunch of fillers and starchers and gums and just things like that. Those are just things that add those carbs to us that we just don't need. They're just added ones. If you want, what's that?
So why do it?
I would rather just buy the liver. I mean, the liver to us, we can get it for, like $2.99 a pound. Like we can get a bag of liver for next to nothing. And what I do with the liver, I just throw the liver on the grill when I cook our steaks or our meat for the night. And I cook a pound at one time every week. And then we each take us, it's sliced in real long thin slices. And we'll eat a slice of that. And then we put the rest of it in the fridge in a baggie. I don't sit down and eat it like it's a liver meal. It's just, I need a couple bites of
I do.
He would, but I just need a couple bites of it and then put it back in the baggie another day or two later, take another bite. It's not a yummy sit down meal thing. It's just, I need that liver in me. So it's one of those, I would rather do the liver than have some kind of pate or whatever that has all the fillers in it. So.
And think of it too, because we've been down this journey a little bit. So we're trying to save you a couple steps of finding out on your own. We're trying to get you to get the quality right off the bat and save a couple steps there, instead of going through some growing pains and finding out, oh yeah, this works, but not really as good as I thought it did. So we're trying to get you to jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah. And what works right now at the beginning stages and things like that, most of us veterans, I mean, I know all the veterans on the page here will just shake their head for me, but what we did at the beginning, we had the growing pains. And I think there's enough of us veterans now that it's like, we're telling you newbies, let me save you a couple steps.
Yep.
Let me help you with a few scabs and a few beat up marks along the way. Let us help jumpstart you a little bit. And that's why we share those tips. It's not mandatory. You can do the Brushweiger, turn it over and see how many carbs are in it, and you could juggle those numbers. But when I literally say eat the meat, add the fat, cut the crap, it's because we've all tried the crap and it don't work.
I mean, you can try to play that numbers game. You're not going to get the results that we're actually looking for. If you want some serious results, get serious right now and get your quality up and get rid of that nasty stuff. So the sooner you do that, the sooner you make that transition, the better results you'll see, the quicker results you'll see.
Yes. So come on in. I'm going to call a couple of the veterans in. We're so blessed right now. We got Olivia in the house. If anybody doesn't know, for any of my newbies, Olivia is our in-house rock star, one of them. And I am telling you, she has a regular DBR of 4.
4.
4.
4.
Not 14, not 40. 4.
This is Obi-Wan.
So we are pretty blessed to have her in the house.
She has mastered this.
And
it's awesome.
I just want you guys to know this. This was not a woman that woke up and just stayed healthy all her life and just woke up and has these magic numbers. She is a woman that has done the work. She is a woman that is consistent and stays with it. We've traveled with her. We love her. She's our family. She carries a little baggie around with all of her little stuff in it when you go someplace. She don't overthink it. She don't make it difficult. She comes prepared, because her health matters that much. So come on in, Olivia. I'd love to tell everybody a little bit of your story.
Hi, everybody, especially hi to the newbies. And my story is not too complicated, but I did do like 4 years of, before I started eating the way we all eat now, is I was a vegan for 4 years. And at the end of that, I was suffering terribly from arthritis. My blood pressure was trending upward, and they wanted to put me on blood pressure medications. And I ended up with a fatty liver with all of the vegetables and fruits that I was eating, and smoothies and that kind of thing. And so I found low carb. I found Dr. Jason Fung. I found Eric Berg, and then eventually found Dr. Boss. And like a lot of us, well, at that time, she didn't have the program that she has now. She had not written the book, she was starting to write the book, her first book, Any Way You Can. Then eventually she wrote that, and then she wrote the second book. And I didn't do the program from the very beginning. Like some of us, I, kind of started where I was at, and then ended up having to go back and start over from the very beginning, which then things kind of started working a little bit better. I also, soon after I started eating low carb and keto, then my arthritis in my hands and my knees went away because the inflammation went down. But I had, I think I mentioned it last week, that I was at the point where I couldn't, going up and down the stairs. We lived in a house with a basement at the time. I couldn't, I was like almost in tears. My knees hurt so bad. Those healed pretty quickly when the inflammation started going down. And then my blood pressure went down. My blood pressure had gone up to like 150s over 90s. And now it's anywhere from 98 over 60s to 120 over 70s. I also reversed the fatty liver. And then I do have something great to report. A couple of weeks ago, I've been working on trying to reverse my osteopenia. I have osteopenia on my spine and my hips. And so some of the things that I've been doing for that is lifting weights on a regular basis. And I have slowly been able to increase those. At first, I could only do like 5 pounds on each hand. And, it's progressed now where I can do 15 pounds on each hand. So, the body's just really amazing with that. I was jumping rope, but I was doing about 100 to 300 jumps every time I jumped. And I talked to Dr. Berry about that, Ken Berry, and he said, jumping rope is great. He said, but one of the things to help your bones is to actually do high jumps. He said, jump as high as you can and land on your heels, and that'll help your bones grow. So I've been doing that consistently, like every other day for the last year. And also, of course, I've been eating fatty meats and that kind of thing, staying mostly carnivore, but some ketovore, and there are some vegetables here and there. And so 2 weeks ago, I had my annual physical, and my DEXA scan showed that my hips are now, it's reversed, the osteopenia is reversed. So I'm really, really happy about that. Dr. Berry told me last night in one of his community video Zooms that the spine takes a little bit longer. So usually the hips will reverse first. And so just to keep doing what I'm doing, keep eating the fat, keep eating the meat, and like Tammy says, cut the crap. So yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you all to stay consistent. It's really that's the only thing that'll do a lot of the healing, is for us to stay consistently eating this way and moving. We've got to move. We've got to do our jumps for the brain, or jumping our rope, and and lifting weights if you can. You can start out small like I did with just 5 pounds, but then the body will get strong enough, you'll be able to do more. And then walk and do sprints if you can eventually, which I can do now. And I never thought I could do those, but I can. So
Wheat.
Olivia, we're so proud of you.
You are amazing.
It is. I just love hearing it, how far you can turn things around and come back. I mean, how many of us just get hit, handed those prescriptions and sent home again, and they act like that's the only answer. And I think that is what I love about the program so much, is to know you can reverse these diseases, you can reverse the damage, and it just takes consistency and work, and we can do that. So it's just, I'm so proud of you.
Kudos to your patience and your fortitude to just stay consistent, and just on days when you don't even feel like it, when it wasn't working, you just stayed consistent and let the process work.
Yeah. And just know, you guys too, if you don't know Olivia, I mean, she doesn't just sit in a bubble and do this. She travels. She has a family. She has a beautiful Mexican family that comes up and they all cook. She cooks for all of them. So this isn't just a woman that can stay in a bubble and not function and not do anything. She does function. She does work through the issues. She still celebrates family, but she's learned to put the focus on the family and the people and the relationships and not worry about the food. So she's just, I don't know, anybody that's struggling.
Inspiration, definitely.
She is inspiration. Anybody that's struggling to what it can really do for you, reach out to Olivia because she's just a blessing to watch, a blessing to lead and listen to.
Lots of knowledge.
And we always say, even over in that big group, that there's always somebody in front of you that you can look up to and follow. And there's always somebody coming up behind you that can grab your hand. You can grab their hand and say, come on, I got you. So that's what a tribe is for. And that's what we do for each other is we just pull each other along. Sometimes we're pulling, sometimes we're pushing. So it's just, you never know how it fits in, but life happens and staying connected and pulling each other through these bumpies in the road and things like that is just how we win. It really is. So
great job, Olivia.
thanks,
I love
Olivia,
to hear
for
that.
sharing. Hey, Sue, will you come in and do the same? Share a little bit of your story. Sue's another rock star in the house that she's right on Olivia.
She's right on Olivia's tail, man. I'm telling you.
She's on Olivia's cape. I think they're sharing the ride right now. So, hang on, we got you muted.
You're muted, Sue.
Mute. Okay.
There
I'm
you go.
trying, but she just won't sit still long enough for me to
Nope.
get her. I kind of got, well, I don't know. I've never really thought about my story. I was normal weight till I was 6 years old. And everybody says that sometimes something happens and you don't know what it is. That I have an idea what made me start gaining weight. My mom took me to the doctor when I was in third grade. So I was about 8, 9 for diet pills because she took diet pills. Of course, that didn't work.
Yep.
So I have fought my weight all my life. I was one of those kids in school that was always put down and picked on because I was overweight. So I developed a lot of self-confidence issues. I guess it's been about, well, I tell you something that I found this week. I had to go get my driver's license renewed. My old driver's license, was in 2016. Okay. And I looked at my weight on there and it said 285. So I guess I knew I had lost some since I started changing the way I was eating. I started out paleo. I did that for probably a year. I did keto. I've done carnivore. I'm doing carnivore now, but every step, it seemed like I would lose a little and then it would plateau and I wouldn't lose any more. So I kept thinking I just need something stronger. So I'm very blessed. I have never been on any medication whatsoever. I've never had high blood pressure, anything like that, like a lot of you have. So I am very blessed there. But I just kept going one step further because it wasn't working. I'll let you know. I on the scale this morning was 204. So yeah, I've lost a lot over the years, but right now I'm frustrated because it's not going down. I have a real special day next week and I really wanted to be at 200, but I don't think I'm going to make it. So anyway, but I have fought my entire life for it. I never will forget it. And, I know there's a lot of new people out there and maybe you can relate to this. I do remember one time in high school, I was in the grocery store and I had broken my leg or foot. The big dude from the all sports school, those guys that are just, man, they'll do anything. They're the best. Everybody thinks their stuff don't stink. He was in the store and I went to walk around him and my crutch hit his foot. And oh, you would not believe the insults. So I have been hurt numerous times because of my weight. And I know that there's a lot of you out there that can relate to that. I mean, it hurts when people make fun of you. Um, so there's a determination there that I need to get healthy. I want to be thin. It may or may not ever happen. I can't imagine my weight saying, "Oh, whoa, you're 200. You don't need to be any lower." That I don't think that's going to happen. But there is still, even though I'm, like I said, I started in 216 in 2016 and did all those different kind of diets. I did find a keto doctor that I followed for 2 or 3 years until I found Dr. Boz. And I still follow Dr. Barry. I still listen to him. I love Dr. Cyrus. But I went back and told that other doctor, I said, "I'm sorry, but you don't do enough to help us." And oh boy, did he blow up and get angry. "Well, you've never come to Arizona to see me, and no, I can't afford to do that. I'm sorry." But anyway, we get support here from everybody. We get support from you guys. We get support from the other doctors if we listen to them. I'm sorry, but to me, I've got a video going almost all the time because I need that solid reinforcement that what I'm doing is right. We get there are some terrific people in this group. Oh my gosh. Diane and Lacey. I just can't, I can't say enough for them, and Olivia. They're always there to cheer you on, always, no matter what you've done. So that's kind of where I'm at. I can get my numbers down. I don't have any problem. Just fast a day or two and I'm down there. But then what happens when I eat? It goes right back up. So something still is not right. I don't know what. Today has
help you with that.
Today has been I can't say hungry day. Maybe it's been a boring day. I haven't done anything, but I've eaten 3 times today, and Tammy, that ain't me.
Right.
So I'm not sure what's going on.
All right. Let me jump in and help you. Let me help you a little bit, Sue. First of all, Sue, we are so proud of you.
Yes.
And when you talk about a woman that's done the work, and it's not been an easy climb for her, she's done the work. So a couple things. When you hear her say, first of all, at what, 280 pounds down to 204?
That's awesome.
That's a win.
That is nothing
That's
but
a
awesome.
win right there. So congratulations to you for that. Now, when this happens to everybody. So this isn't just a Sue thing. This is everybody. I don't care if you're coming in from the beginner level and just starting. What you're doing will work for a while. And then you know what happens? It doesn't mean the program isn't working. It doesn't mean the process isn't working. It means you need to take it to the next level. Now, Sue's a veteran. Sue knows the 12 steps, but you know what? Even us veterans, we still have to change it up and do something more. So say she's made it through keto continuum number 12. She could fast and get her numbers right back down. But when she says, as soon as she goes back to eating, those numbers go back up. Does everybody understand what that's saying? That's saying she's still insulin resistant. So that is telling that recovery time when she goes ahead and eats and comes back down, and she don't eat crazy. I mean, I know Sue well enough to know she's prepared. She's not out overindulging on things and stuff like that. She's eating sensibly as our program teaches us. So she's doing the things. But that's where then the next step comes in. That's where the fasting comes in, first of all, those 8 weeks of 72s. That's where the sardines come in. And Sue is like a hell no on the sardines. So she will clean fast before she will do the sardines. And I respect her for that. But it's that, and you just take it to the next level. So that could mean everybody could be different. That could mean she's going to start doing a sauna. That could mean she's going to start doing a cold plunge. That could mean hot tub. That could mean go get an Epsom salt float. You take your health to the next level, and everything isn't accessible to everybody all the time. So what's available to you? Sue's in camping season. She may not have access to, but you know what? She's probably at a good lake that's pretty chilly. So she could probably She could make her own little cold plunge if she wanted to. She could, there's things we can all do. We can all find. I mean, Lance built me a clawfoot tub out on our deck beside our hot tub
I
that
just
we
put it there.
put it out there, refinish this old-fashioned clawfoot tub. We fill it up. That cast iron stays so cold.
Just
and
a
then
garden hose.
we dump 40 pounds of ice in it and make it our cold plunge.
Wow.
It's just, but it's, you know what? It's one of those things that
I was always hell no to that. There's no way. I mean, I've been in a cold pool enough. No, but I am amazed at what that does
and how you feel.
How you feel, exactly.
Like I have neuropathy. So anybody that doesn't know my backstory, my chemo left me with a horrible neuropathy. So my neuropathy was one of those that a thread in my sock felt like a razor blade. A piece of sand or dirt stuck to the bottom of my foot felt like a rock cutting into my foot. It was awful. Like worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I've had natural childbirth, mastectomy, all these things, and neuropathy is the worst pain I've ever had in my life. It's just one of those things you can't make it go away. There's not enough Oxycontin that makes it go away. I was scared to death to do the cold plunge because I was worried that cold on my neuropathy would be.
Plus that little issue with the heart.
Well, there's that. There's that. I'm a little bit of a hot mess, so we're good. Shut up. Anyways, when I get in there, it's almost like they go numb. And it's not the burn and hurt like they used to. So it's one of those, I know my neuropathy is better than it used to be from us doing this. So my neuropathy has gotten better and I was able to get off the pain meds and everything and the Neurontin and the Lyrica and all that stuff for the neuropathy. But I think the cold plunge going from the sun, I'm blessed enough that we have a sauna here at our house. We have a hot tub and then we have the cold plunge. So we can make the round. We can go hot or sauna to 140 degrees. So go get hot. Then we come up, jump in the cold plunge and make that big swap of the change of the temperature from really high to really low. Then we get out and relax in the hot tub. You make 3 rounds of that and you got it going on, kind of thing. And it's
basically what she's saying is you need to take your body to the next stress level that it needs for some results to show. And I know, Sue, you do a lot of walking. I know you do a whole lot of that. And plus, I want to say, I remember there was a time where you couldn't do that. So kudos to you now, those little small scale victories that you don't have a problem with that anymore. Yeah. And that's awesome. But
go ahead.
You do walk a lot. You do have that in your toolbox. There may be another stressor that you need to do on top of that because you are fit in that way. You may have to push a little bit in a different direction to get that stress to hit your body. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been going to the gym. Of course, I have done water aerobics for 8 years. Found out that's aerobic, but it's not strength. So I have changed. I walk on the treadmill. I do strict weightlifting stuff now. The one thing, and I know people are there that have aches and pains and all kinds of stuff, all kind of inflammation. There are things going on in your body that you never even dreamed was inflammation. I used to couldn't drink any ice drinks whatsoever. I had to drink sodas if I drank them hot. No ice water, no water out of the tap because my teeth hurt. They don't hurt anymore. And I know that was inflammation. I haven't been able to ride the upright bicycle for years. Ever since I was tiny, my bicycle was my buddy. I couldn't because my left knee, when you pedaled it and you go over the top with that left knee, it hurt so bad I yelled. So there was no way I could ride it. I could ride the recumbent and be okay. Well, the last month, I've been able to ride the upright bike. I rode it 3 miles the other day at the gym. And I did 2 miles.
Right there.
Yeah, I know it. I never dreamed that was inflammation. Nobody could. I didn't know what it was, but inflammation? Are you kidding? So there's things like that are still happening. I did 2 miles. No, I did 1 mile at 2.0 the other day, which is great for me. Um, and I've got to keep doing that because I've got to be able to walk when we go camping and we hike.
And I just want to say one thing to you too. All that stuff that you're doing now, you didn't do before.
No,
And
I did not.
When it comes to your weight, you may not be seeing that one magical number that you want because you're actually building muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah.
So,
And that's
it's not necessarily weight. I can probably tell you since the first time I saw you, you are twice as healthy as what you were then, and you are now. I can see it in your face.
Ooh,
So,
look at the wrinkles.
Hey, take them wrinkles any day.
Experience. I don't care what anybody says. That experience.
I don't either. But I could tell the difference. I mean, I definitely could tell the difference. No, my clothes are not changing right now. But good heavens, I'm wearing an extra large shirt. I could wear a large. I'm wearing 16 size pants. I was in 26s. So
that's a win.
That's awesome.
So people have got to just put one foot in front of the other. It will happen.
Yep.
And tell yourself the same thing.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Once I'm set on something, and you guys know as well as I do, when I eat off, I ate 3 meals today. Gee, that was cheating. No, it wasn't, because there was nothing on my eating that I shouldn't have had. It's just that I'm used to eating 1 meal a day. In fact, this last week, I've been doing OMAD every 2 days, or eating every 2 days.
Sue, I want to remind you, do you remember back at I don't know if you were on with us, remember when Lance dropped all the weight and then he plateaued, but then he was coming home and we were arguing because he kept coming home saying he was hungry. I'll have to find the video and show you. But he was coming home and Lance had his macros set. We had this rocking and rolling going. Well, of course, my body's struggling and I'm struggling along, but Lance's body took off. So he was down and his weight had changed. He dropped inflammation, everything. Everything was just shifting on him. But we didn't go back and adjust his macros and see what was going on. And he kept coming home and he's ready, like he's eating us out of house and home. Like a 5-pound roast is what the man is eating for 1 meal. I'm like, dude, I can't afford to feed you. What is going on? He's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, you can't be hungry. Nobody is hungry.
We had an argument.
After eating 5 pounds of meat, you're just gluttony. And it was one of those moments that we just kept going back and forth. And when we went back and rechecked his macros in the chronometer with his weight change, and his activity level increased at work, he needed 1.25 cups of fat a day. Yeah. So there's a huge thing that happens when your body shifts like that, and you've got to be able to check your numbers. You may need to readjust macros and things like that too, and you will figure that out, but you may just be at that moment of plateauing and your body's getting ready to jump again.
Yes. And just make sure your numbers are set correctly, and you really get specific about them, because as far as you've come, the next level is right there. I mean, you're touching it.
It's just tweaking.
All of a sudden your body's just going to go boom.
And I'm telling you, if you get the visual of 1.25 cups of fat, does everybody understand?
I needed 270 grams of fat a day to run on, not to lose, to stay consistent.
It was nuts. And as soon as we hit those fat macros again, he was back to cruising.
Took off again.
Just back to cruising.
And my protein is set at 100. Well, 2 weeks ago, I decided maybe I was just getting way too much. So I cut it down to 50 and was really, really watching it. I was starving. I was hungry. And I said, oh, maybe I shouldn't have cut it that far, that fast. But you're right about the butter. I put butter in my coffee a lot. I know that may not be quite kosher, but in order to get it in, I can't sit and eat a stick of butter. Now, Jeff can drink a cup of butter, hot butter in the microwave. I can't do that. So I could put it in my coffee and drink. I've even put it in my tea, and that's really not great, but I've done it. But I do believe when I do get more fat that it does help. So
I do want to encourage you, though. I would like you to move your protein back up. that,
Okay.
especially with you trying to build muscle right now and you're lifting weights and stuff like that, I'd move that protein up a little bit, especially when you say you're hungry today and you're eating that 3 meal.
Yeah,
Bump that
I've been
protein up a
good.
little bit. I don't want you losing muscle mass. I want you
I've
to.
been good the last 2 days, and then okay, my numbers are usually posted by 7 o'clock. Well, 7:30 this morning, I had pork tenderloin and a little bit of cheese on it, a little bit of barbecue sauce on it.
There you go.
Now that's me. I usually can go to 1 or 2 o'clock and eat.
Nice.
So something like
that tells me you're not getting enough fat.
So yeah, we need to
Okay.
adjust your macros and get something going on you. So you get with us
You
later
don't
on.
you don't have enough fuel. That's why you're
Okay.
hungry.
All right, I'm going to do it.
All right.
All right.
All
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you,
Thanks
Sue.
for coming in. All right. Come on in, Diana. You want to come check in?
Got to wake her up real quick.
Oh, yeah, I'm unmuted already. I was just looking at chronometer. We were talking about, was it yesterday? How to change stuff. And I don't even really remember doing it, but I was set to maintain. So you didn't act like you liked that yesterday. So I changed it back to lose a pound a week. Well, my fat was 160 grams, and now today it's at 104. So how does it? I don't.
You got to figure out where you want to be on that. If you want to maintain where you're at, then leave it at maintain. That's okay. If you're okay where it's at and you're making progress. So if you want to maintain for a while, write it out. You're fine.
Yeah, but why did it drop that much just by me changing it to lose a pound a week? I don't.
Because it's going to start using your fat instead of ingested fat.
Correct.
Okay.
So you'll get there. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious about that. I happen to know because
that's for that fat. Does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand that when you fill in chronometer, everybody's numbers, everybody's like, well, how much fat should I be? Well, that's
different.
Every person is different according to your weight, according to how active you are. Mine is totally different than his. We eat the exact same thing every day, but I sit on my butt all day. He's running 20,000 steps a day. So our fuel is going to be totally different for each other. So you got to be mindful of that. So don't be afraid to we'll adjust them tomorrow in class or this week in class. If we need to, Diane, let me know. We'll do that.
Oh, I just want to say to Sue, well, to everybody, but I've had some of those. You just made me think of probably one of my worst moments in life. Now there's some competing. I was trying to figure out which one was the worst, but talk about being teased in school. I think this was like junior high. We had the school carnival and we had a dunking booth. So they wanted me to get on it. And I don't remember what I weighed then, but I've always been heavy most of my life too. So, but I get on the dunking booth and it breaks the board. And so they're teasing that was like the most mortifying thing, I'm like, maybe that's it. I don't know. But there's several that I'm like, I don't know which one was worse, but so.
There's something to be said about those things. Boz was just talking about that today in classes that, when you find the worst day of your life for that memory or the best day of your life in the memory, and somewhere in the middle of that, your why, that it really is connected to that emotion. And that's not easy to walk through. I mean, we've had some really emotional days in the 21-day course this time because it's like people trying to work through those whys. That's not easy. Those things are, when you get to the real why, it's deep, it's hard. And if you're not crying, you're not digging deep enough. Like most of us are not here for the fun of it.
And a lot of the beginners may not even be close to their why yet. You're just in the why in the moment.
Yeah.
When you get to that severe why, that's when you really dig deep and that this is the only way to do it. So
I mean, I will say as many years as we did this together, and we're on about 5 years in with Boz now. I did it the first year without him. And it was that moment of, like, you guys have all heard me talk about it, that I can't do this and watch you eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with my grandma's jelly every night on the couch. But I will say the thing that took it to the next level is I think when I had my heart attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
That it was one of those realizing, that we come home and it was like being that close to death's door. It was the first time I had ever traveled without him. I'd ever left the house, my little bubble of my little town. And I flew to Texas to meet Boz and everybody for KetoCon, did my speech, everything went good, got on the plane, had the heart attack on the way home. And being away from him in that moment of and I mean, there's almost a sarcasm in it, is like, seriously, this is how I'm going to go out. Like, I have never lived life without a kid or a husband or somebody I know around. I mean, you don't go any place in our town that you don't see somebody you know. And the first time I'm sitting in a Austin airport airplane and don't know a soul around me, feeling so alone. And I think coming home and him getting down there with me and staying down there through my surgery and everything, I think that gave us come home with a whole new mindset, a whole new dedication, and a whole new thought process, a whole new relationship of, we got to do this together. We've got to do this to win. I mean, we're in it for the long haul, and you get there. You work through the bumps in the road. It's not perfect all the time.
Nope.
But we rough it out together.
Yep.
So. Come on in, Dorothy. Love to hear from you. We got our newbies in, so come and tell all of our, I'm pulling on all my veterans to come in and share with the newbies.
Well, I'm not going to go into a lot of details on my past, but I've also been overweight my whole life. As a child, they would always say, fatty, fatty, 2x4 can't fit through the kitchen door. I'm sure y'all have all heard that one. I am 62 years old, and I've was diagnosed with a neuropathy issue in 2010, but recently have been diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and I want to live life. I want to, I want to be able to walk upstairs. I want to be able to, chase after my grandkids, and I'm struggling. I'm still struggling, but I'm going to get there.
Absolutely.
I am going to get there, and I really appreciate everyone's support, and I love hearing y'all's stories. So,
tell you what, Dorothy, you can think of it this way. I'm gonna give you a little pep talk about it. You're just working. You're just working your body out. That's all.
Just getting through.
That's
Just getting good at it.
But
yeah.
How many people that we have out there now with autoimmune disease, though?
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's working through autoimmune stuff, that's not one of them that you get to play the luxury thing of scooching in and out of this and half-assing it, or, hey, I'm going to do it for a few weeks and then I'm going to jump it off and have fun and then I'm going to come back in. Autoimmune, you don't get to do that. You have to dive in and stay there.
Well, I worked with a guy in 2010 when I was sick, and I told him, I said, tell me what to do. I'll eat glass if you tell me to, because I was desperate, because couldn't walk at the time. And I was swelling, and it was awful. But, he pretty much put me on a keto diet without saying it's a keto diet. And I started working with him in March, and August I came off the medication they told me I'd have to take for the rest of my life. So, but then, I got to feeling better, and life goes back to normal. So that's what I want to avoid this time, is because I do feel better even with the Hashimoto's. I don't want my health to go back to the way it was. I want to continue to improve.
One thing I'll throw in there, Dorothy, you know what you just said? I want this to be your new normal. That's what we're trying to make this a lifestyle.
Yeah.
This needs to be your new normal. So when you go back to normal, you're going to be right here. This is our normal. This is our new normal.
That's why I'm here.
The treat is the other days. And there's so much to be said on that. When we can make this our normal, we don't think about it anymore. It's not a constant digging. I don't know. I remember at the beginning of this, it's like it never left my mind.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
I've been there.
It was rough, man. I'm telling you. I mean, it was a change of behavior.
I mean,
Lance is probably saying what people around me said. If I hear the word keto one more time,
woman, would you shut up?
It wasn't
Exactly.
even hearing the word keto. It was him walking out to our cupboards and we looked like we're homeless because we got rid of everything at first. It was just that part of it. I need new things here.
I would have ate chalk.
Yeah.
Our kids thought we joined a cult.
Right, exactly. But I feel like getting rid of all of those things is what I needed to do right then. But it was just that point trying to move forward in that is I needed a clean slate. I needed to start over. I needed to change my thinking because my love language was feeding everybody. My kids walked through the door and I start cooking. It didn't matter if they were hungry or not. I'm going to start feeding you. I mean, it was just, that was my love language to my kids, and my kids still walk in. Mom, you making chicken and dumplings? Mom, will you make me some potato soup? Mom, will you make? And now they know if they want anything like that, I will still cook it for them, but they better bring it because
It ain't in this house.
there's none of it here.
Well, prime example, we had a hurricane threat in the state next to us, which we had some feeder bands last night, and my sister's scared of the weather. So she comes here and she's like, my husband's like, well, if you come, you have to cook chicken and dumplings because he knows. And she did, like, I'm talking a huge pot. Well, I had her take, after she cooked the chicken, well, before she put all the goodies in it, I had her take me out some chicken broth and some chicken. So it was just as good, but
Perfect.
Good.
And you got to enjoy the family, enjoy your
Mhm.
sister, have some food with her, and you're fine.
Everybody see that? I hope I'm getting
Everybody
some
hear that?
nods
Yep.
on that one. Did everybody see that little piece that she did?
It
That
wasn't
is a
disrespecting.
huge step.
Yep.
yeah.
Didn't disrespect her sister, didn't go hide off in the closet because her sister made chicken and dumplings.
Right.
You jump in.
I wanted to.
I'm not saying it's
Doesn't-
always easy.
Doesn't take the want away.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. You've come a long way, and we're just so blessed to have you with us. So we love you doing.
Just keep doing what you're doing. You
I
got
am.
it.
You know what?
I am.
There's
Thank
a
you.
big part of this. Part of what we was talking about too is I think it was part of Keith's why today that we was listening to, how much this ties into our spiritual journey. And I think our spiritual strength and our spiritual boundaries we put up without thinking. It's like those become just simple and easy. And these health boundaries need to be that second nature, just like our spiritual journey does, just like our walk
Yeah.
with the Lord does. It's just after, how when we first starting, it's you think about every move you make, every word that comes out of your mouth, everything you do, you have to be a conscious thought of it. And then after a while, you know what? That's just how our life is. It's just
Yeah.
that's how we live. This
Well,
will
and
be
the other
that
night,
same way.
the other night when you were talking about, you always took care of everybody else, and I've done the same thing, my whole life. And it's time to take care of myself now.
It is.
Yep.
And I mean, just knowing everybody on this page right now.
You don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be here to take care of the other people.
Right.
Yep. So we're getting there.
Thank
Who
you.
else? Who wants to come check in? Where are we at? Tammy, you want to check in? You good? Are you up for it?
Okay, man,
We
did
got
I
a few minutes
have,
left. Go ahead. You're up, girlfriend.
I met a new love of my life today, and that was brown butter bites. Oh my
yes,
goodness.
sir.
Isn't it like candy
I don't
bars?
know.
It's like candy.
I've been craving something like that, and I asked my husband because he makes ghee all the time, so he kind of
Oh.
knew the process. So he made it, and they are very, very, very good. And
It tastes
dropped
like
a couple
candy.
in my coffee. Oh, it's and my fat. I just looked at it. It's like 104, and my carbs are 6.5. So
Nice.
What
I
is
mean,
that?
yeah, what's that?
What is brown butter bites?
Brown
Oh,
butter bites. You put a bunch of Kerrygold butter into a saucepan or a fry pan, whatever. Put it in a pan on a real low simmer. And have you ever made clarified butter or anything like that? What is a
I have done that before, yeah.
Okay, so where normally that stuff comes to the top and you'll scrape the top off, that stuff that comes to the top, all those fats and those solids will sink to the bottom. And you let them brown and you just keep them nice and slow and low and let them simmer. And they become the yummiest brown. It tastes like little caramel bites with butter. And it gives it that little caramely taste. So if you use salted butter, it's like a salty caramel thing. If you use unsalted butter, it's just like caramely, yummy goodness. And when you haven't had anything, when you haven't had a treat, a piece of candy, nothing in a really long time, those brown butter bites are heaven. And I pour them out and put them in a little square thing. Those little, I don't even know what they're made for, like little gummy square things, just little molds, and make little bite-sized pieces of them. I throw them in, put them in the fridge, put them in a baggie, and grab them when you need fat, when you need something in your coffee, when you need a treat, when you need a snack, when you think you need something. It is failing forward. So it's one of those, they're a great little tool to have in.
it reminds me of one of those Werther candies that I used
Yes.
to have. One of
Right.
those smooth, buttery. Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm going to do? Tina, I will put over, we have a fats guide that I will share with you, and it's in there too. It talks about them.
Nope.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long do they last? I mean, is it
It's
something
like butter
that
in the
else-
fridge, so weeks.
You keep them in the fridge,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you don't
I put
want them
them
to
in the
melt.
freezer.
Yep. That too.
and are you tempted to overeat those?
No, because they're so filling, and I want them to last because they're really good. I monitor my macros really close, and I was just so thrilled that I got to 100 on fat, because it's a struggle, to get that all the time. And I think it just will be a really good tool for me. And no, I don't want to overeat them. I don't. I watch myself really close because I spent too much of my life doing that. I want this to work, and I'm just really committed. So
it's not something you want to gorge on them, but I'm telling you, when you need to get a little bit of fat in you, in the chat, I just dropped, it's a guide that's just getting the fats right. And it talks about brown butter bites. There's olive oils in there. There's the good butter in there, ghee, beef tallow. There's just different little things, because a lot of people start to get a gag reflex over the fats and they start to struggle with the fats. So if you rotate through those fats, you can make them simple enough. This should not be difficult. This should not be, getting fat in should not be the biggest, hardest part of this journey. Fat should be the part you're getting to enjoy, that it's like, who gets to have pork belly, crispy, yummy pork belly for dinner? Like
this guy.
We did.
Amy, could you put those in ice cubes? Like the old ice? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that would probably even be big. So I'd make them real shallow, because I'm telling you, I use I think they're 1-inch squares maybe, and it's almost too much. I mean, I don't even mind breaking it in half.
I'm going to throw her under the bus. She bought the molds for the THC gummies off of Amazon. We didn't know they were those. So each brown butter bite says 21 and over.
It says 21 and up, and I'm like, what does this arrow mean? And I get the box.
But they're really tiny. They're really tiny.
Your Amazon man loves you, right?
Yes.
So the little molds on them, each one has this arrow on them. I'm like, what the hell does this arrow mean? And I can't figure it out. I get the box out. I'm like, what is the arrow? And here it's 21 and up with the arrow on the front, on the engraved in every mold of the thing. So every one of my things had this thing on it. So I open up the box. I'm like, are you kidding me?
We had the link on our website too.
The link to share with everybody for the 21 and over gummies.
Anyway.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
No, and answer to Clay's thing too, with the overeating, that will change as you get down this journey. That will change. Your mindset is going to change, because you're going to go for the quality instead of the quantity. So every bite that you take will be full of fat and full of energy, and you won't take as many bites. I promise you.
Yep.
You will get to a point where that will not be an issue. You may have a hard time overeating, or not overeating protein, because that meat is really good. But as with the fats, no, you won't. You're not going to overeat on a fat.
And those kind of things too, those will adjust as your body gets used to it and you start eating higher density nutrition. That's where the sardines are magic. Again, it's such a teaching moment when you can realize 4.5 ounces of sardines keeps me full for one meal a day for 24 hours. Like, one day.
It's the whole mindset that we're changing in this too. This whole process is a mindset shift, if you don't mind me saying. Because your portion size is going to change, your attitude to the food is going to change, your mindset on what you need for energy is going to change. It's all going to change. So just be mindful of that.
This is so much more than a diet.
Absolutely.
Please know that. This is a lifestyle. This is teaching. We're breaking addictions and stuff in your brain that you've had since you were a child. How many of us, we celebrated with food? You did good, you went to food. You had a bad day, you went to food.
Can't get up until you clean your plate.
Yeah. How many of us had to sit at the table until you made a happy plate and your plate was clean? I mean, that is bred into us. It's like, do you know how hard it is now at the point I'm 58 years old and I still struggle with the first bite that I'm full? I am just now learning to say, you know what? I'm good. Now that I won't waste it. I won't throw the food away because I would still get in trouble. My mom would not be happy. So I still cut it up, put it in a baggie, and it's tomorrow's meal. And I'm okay with it. And I don't feel guilty, and I don't get that shame feeling in it. It's like, you know what? I'm good.
And to begin with, we don't put as much on our plate as we used to.
Yep.
Again, we started out and we've probably made every mistake that you could make on this thing.
What, your 5-pound roast?
That's what we're teaching. We used to get our ribeyes cut 2.5 inches thick. I'm not kidding. they were 24-ounce ribeyes. Easy.
We'd scarf them.
And that would be our meal. And now we eat half of that. And it's satiating.
That same steak feeds us for 2 or 3 meals now.
Absolutely.
And it's not because we count calories and or ounces and measure it out. It is just literally we slow down and eat, and we stop when we're ready.
And we listen to our body. And that's a lot. Again, a lot of the newbies, you're going to learn to listen to your body, because your body is going to tell you things. You can ask every veteran on here. If you don't listen to your body, you're just playing half the game, because your body's going to tell you when you need to push, when you've pushed too hard, when you've had enough, when you need more. It's all going to tell you. Your body is the perfect machine.
Now, as a newbie, though, I want to throw out there and do want to warn you, don't listen to your head and wants. Don't listen to the addiction. There's a big difference of listening to the signals from your body and the addiction in your brain. There's a difference. And that's where getting leptin and ghrelin working, making sure those fat-based hormones are working, because then we want the hormones speaking, not the
voices
addiction,
in your head.
not the voices of the addiction or the coping skill, because so many of us, our only coping skill was food. How many of us, when you had a bad day, when you lost your best friend, when you didn't have it, it was food that cheered you up. It was food you got when you did good on a test. It was food you got the snack after school. I mean, it's like just the things that we dealt with food, trying to build that whole new relationship with food is a total mind game. I mean, that is just the shift in it, is realizing my dopamine every day should not come from my food. I got my dopamine and my oxytocin and everything right here beside me.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, babe. That's my oxytocin and that's my dopamine. It's not the food on my plate. So that's the mind shift you guys got to, you really got to process. What are you looking at food for to cheer you up? What are you looking at food for to be your best friend? No, the people around you. Build a life that is your dopamine.
I want to throw out one thing too with Sue. She said something, and I don't know if anybody else caught it, but I did, because it affects me, something serious. If I'm not busy, my mind tells me I'm hungry. I will eat out of boredom every time. And it's like, you get busy at something, go find something to do. If you're hungry, do the salt thing, put salt on your tongue. If your craving goes away, then go do something. If it doesn't go away, then you need something.
Does everybody have this? Everybody see what this is?
You do that with regular salt too, or not regular salt, but Redmond salt or Baja Gold.
This sits on my desk like little decorations. They're salt crystals. These are Redmond salt rocks. And you can go over on the website. They're just literally Redmond salt rocks. So if I'm sitting here working and I get a craving, or I start to get a headache, or I start to get I might be hungry. No, I'm not. I'm fine. Pull the rock out and you suck the rock. Getting those minerals in you, getting that salt in you will usually pass a craving. And they literally sit around my house like geo decorations. My kids think decorate with rocks. Like, no, it's my salt, but they're all over here.
Then you get back to getting busy.
I keep mine in a little tiny Altoid tin.
There you go.
And you just put a pinch in. And have you all found that your body has mistaken thirst for hunger? Like you've been thirsty and actually thought you were hungry, but going and having a glass of water maybe.
Well, I know this is new to you, so I will kind of go back and backtrack a little bit for you. First thing you do when you think you're hungry, you go to water, because most people are dehydrated. And most people are dehydrated, and then it's salt. Most
of the time, I don't have that problem, because I put salt in my water. So
I do too.
When I go get water, mine has salt in it all the time. So that would pass a craving really quick.
But the water though, Clay, for you, I would really push. I mean, we don't leave home. These are our whoobies. I mean, they're like our security blanket. We do not leave home. He has the big jumbo 40. Yours 40,
mine's
40 ounces. Mine's a 24, but I'm here all day. We do not leave home without this. We don't go to church without it. We don't go anywhere without carrying this. And it's that water fluid has to be going in, especially the more, and this isn't meant disrespectful. I mean this, the bigger you are, the more inflammation that's going to start coming down, and you're going to be peeing it out. And you better be packing on a Camelback and, just keeping up with those fluids because you don't want to get dehydrated. You do not want to get,
And don't forget your minerals with that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
my put my dad in the hospital with arrhythmia of his heart because he got so dehydrated. He forgot to put the minerals with his water. You can drink water all day long. If you're losing minerals faster than you can put them in, you are going to get dehydrated. I don't care if you're drinking water or not.
You'll get there, Claire, I promise. All right. Anybody else who wants to check in?
I'm going to
Anybody
call out Trish or Tina
Tina.
down here.
All right.
I've seen some of her posts that she's been throwing out, and I'm impressed. She's like on a roll.
You want to roll, Tina? Come and tell us how you're doing. I know we're running over a
I'm
little bit
living
tonight,
the
guys.
high life.
You're getting the
feel
glow,
like
though.
I feel like the first time I came on here, I was really struggling to hit those ketones, and you were like, just focus on keeping your carbs under 20 and push your fat. And I did, and I I am not I am not at a keto continuum 12. I don't know what I'm at. I think 6 or something. I have a clean coffee in the morning,
Right.
and I just have 2 meals a day. But I haven't shifted my meals earlier. I usually eat, I finish my eating window around 7-ish usually. So I mean, I haven't even done a clean fast yet. I've only done a sardine fast, but I really like fat.
You're not ready. You're not ready to do a clean fast yet. So
I don't think I need to at this point.
You're nice and consistent, which I wanted to point out. I mean, you're just doing the things that work for you right now, and your body's responding. I see that by your numbers, and it's just a nice progression from where you were before to where you are now. It's like, yes, she's rocking it out.
Now, Tina, I want to warn you though. You can ask Sue, ask
Olivia. Dorothy, yep.
You're going to come to a point that's going to stop working. That does not mean the program is not working.
Correct.
That means your body's plateaued and it's ready to go to the next level, which means you're going to have to clean up that eating window and tighten it up and move it around and things like that. Just don't get discouraged when it stops working, because a lot of people go, oh my God, I'm doing it. It's working fine. And then it stopped. It's not stopping. Your body's catching up. You've made progress. Now your body's saying, hey,
we're good.
Or do it again. And you're ready to go to another step. So just be mindful of that.
Well, I'm just happy where I'm at right now. I realize it's going to come to an end at some point,
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoying it right now.
Awesome. Do that.
Ride it out as long as you can.
Get them good vibes coming in. That way, when it does, you already have the mental attitude of, this is no big deal. I'm just going to move to the next step. We'll be good.
Yep. All right. Jill,
kudos for
your
consistency.
Who else we got? Oh, Liz is over there.
Hey.
Hi, Jill.
So I'm here through Dr. Boz, and I'm Tammy's class with the 21 day. That's my second time around with 21 day. The last time I did it, 2 weeks of the 3-week course, I was in London and working 12 hours a day and squeezing in these meetings. And I just felt like I missed a lot the first time around. I've been listening to the podcasts and probably been pretty consistent with keto since January. I've lost 30 pounds since January, and I'm kind of at a plateau. And I'm hoping the 21 day gets me to the next level. The thing that I haven't been doing is fasting, and I just haven't been able to get myself back to it. Though I had a surgery this year, and so I had listened to Dr. Boz saying, if you're going under general anesthesia, you need to get 8 weeks of fasting in there. I had listened to that, and I got 7 weeks in before the surgery, but really glad I did it, because I had no idea how general anesthesia just fogs your brain.
Oh, it knocks you for a
90
loop.
days later, I was still fogged up. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'm real excited for the 21 days, because I know I'll learn a lot that I missed the first time around. In my car, I have Audible, and I have her Keto Continuum book, and so that just plays every time I'm driving anywhere.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Joe, I'm glad you're here, and you've been such a blessing in class. So I love having everybody and learning so much from everybody's stories and getting everybody going. So I'm glad you're here. Second time around isn't a bad thing. Nope. Not at all. I'm telling you, we've been doing this for 5 years and we still listen to the same things over and over and over. And just know you will hear things 45 times. You will hear them until the cows come home.
You'll hear
And
it.
it won't sink in
Until the 46th time.
until it pertains to you. Till that
Right.
step connects with you, it will sink in and you'll like, oh, I've heard that. I got that. That makes sense now. It don't make sense all the way. You know, keto continuum number 12 doesn't make sense when you're at number 3. I mean, can you imagine
Right.
if our newbies came in at 1 or 2 and I said, next week we're going to be doing 8 weeks of 72-hour fasts and you lose them instantly. Like they're like, we're out. We're out. So I'm glad you're here, Jill, and understand the process. So come on in.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome to the tribe. Liz, you want to come check in? No.
No, we got, she says, oh, how dare you? I seen her.
Hang on, you're muted.
I am. So I'm exhausted. I'm so tired from today. And I've been doing this all day long. So I'd like a pass.
You're
You
good.
can have it.
Go
Thank
rest. I'll
you.
see you in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
21 days is a lot. It's
is.
a lot, especially if you have no, and kudos to you guys that are taking it. Especially if you don't have a lot of experience with that. It's a real smack in the face. So
It is.
you got a lot to learn
He
quickly.
gets to see both sides of it. He gets to see me do the work through it, but he gets to see the back end work of it too. And it's neat. I think next time I'm trying to talk him into coaching with me.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she wanted me to take a group this time, and I was like, oh,
Come
boy.
on. Wouldn't it be good though? I wonder if
No.
we could get any spouses together and get some couples in doing it together. So, all right, who we got left? Keith and Clay.
Joanne.
Joanne, I don't know. Is anybody that
Nope, she's out.
No, come on, lady. All right. Clay, you want to come in? Or Keith, either one of you want to come in and share a little bit? Hang on, we got everybody's muted. Somebody unmute and jump in.
Something that I thought about earlier was people were talking about being bullied and things like that. And I hear something in these stories, how many different ways we've tried and done things, and something that happened. So my father was a diabetic, and he died, or he had a heart attack when I was 14, had another heart attack when I was 15 and died. And I was with him and did CPR. He died the week before my 10th grade year of school, and was buried. Traumatic, just really terrible. But I had developed high blood pressure and was taking 1 pill a day. I went from being an A student in 8th grade my freshman year to I had like D's, and I would go to school, play football, come home, and be asleep by like 8 o'clock at night and sleep all night. I was being chemically restrained by the blood pressure medicine. My mother took me to a doctor who she had actually known years before, and he got so involved in our life, he switched the medicine, and then he told me to eat at home. He said, I know you have to eat it at school, but you've got to stop doing all the things that teenagers do, which you drive to McDonald's or something like, that kind of stuff. And he was so helpful. He actually brought vegetables that he grew himself for the first few weeks. And so I dropped 40 pounds. My 10th grade biology teacher noticed. I was 15. I was about 6'2" and about 250, and I dropped like 40, 45 pounds. She had me stand up and the whole class cheered, a really great memory. But then Christmas break happened and a friend of ours had heart surgery 3 hours away. We went there and my mom says, well, I guess we're going to have to eat at a fast food restaurant. We ate one meal and I was back to that old life, full bore within a week. And the weight came on. But it has always amazed me from you know 50 year or 40 years later, looking at how truth and information, there was no magic formula, there was no magic pill. It was eating properly and avoiding the things that the media and the marketing said, oh, you got to have this in your life, you got to have this in your life. And all of those things had I mean, we were in America. I mean, food was everywhere.
Clay, I want to throw this out here real quick. Did anybody catch what he said about the eating one time? Does everybody understand what that's saying? That's that addiction in his brain back to a child. So, I mean, it's no different than, I keep saying, the alcoholic friend. Would you take the alcoholic friend to the bar and say, here, just have one drink, just one glass of wine? It's okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So if fast food is your trigger, if, those things, until they're no longer a trigger, then that is where you got to break those ties. So Clay, I'm so proud of you. It's one of those things, what, you're going to work through these steps. You are going to get there, and you're going to see one addiction after another just break and rebuild. And I think God's going to do great things with you. You got a tribe now. You're moving forward. You're going to set this chemistry shift, and all that stuff in the past is going to be the past. And I'm just excited to see where you go in this. So good job, Clay.
Thank you.
Come on in, Keith.
There he is.
Hey,
Hi, Keith.
yeah. Hey there. I don't have much to say actually. But I've been listening to Dr. Boz's hours presentation to all the doctors, and so I really just can't wait to get to bed. Try to sleep, see if I can get 8 hours, or at least 7, because I'm usually a 5 to 6 hour sleeper, and then if I have to take off for the time I'm, getting up at night, well, I just soon do a negative because
Right. So I said, I'm lucky I know my own name by the time we do the math on that. I mean, because if you think about it, if anybody doesn't understand what he's talking about, I never realized how much sleep affects your body, your health, your weight, your mentality, your everything is sleep. And it's a hard one for me. I will say I can eat clean, I can cut carbs, I can do all that is easier for me than sleeping.
Yep.
But I have never since a child slept good. And it's one of those things that is a hard habit. It's a hard thing to break. It's a subconscious thing. It's trying to shut your brain down. That's not easy to do. And I will say, even as a veteran, that I have, I'm blessed enough to have the back end of Boz where I can get to her. And even with me, a million things that she could throw at me and tell me to do, and I should do, could do, would do. The biggest thing she throws at me, sleep. The sleep. I have got to get the sleep around.
I'm wondering if that's what's causing my high numbers in the morning too.
It's night and day difference.
Sleep. My work, not that I do it anymore, but when I was working, I'd have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to be in New Orleans for a meeting, or I'd have to, the emergency room would wake me up with some silly problem, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you have to run up to the hospital for a little while, things like that. So I just got used to not sleeping a whole lot.
How many of us though had jobs, or, I had a sick kid. It wasn't even my job. It was, I had a sick kid that couldn't breathe, and he either slept on my chest or I had to hear him sleep. And if I got to, put him to sleep in the other room, I needed to hear him breathing. He had compromised lungs and was on a nebulizer from the day he was born. And it's just one of those, I never slept well, and I never realized how much it affects your health. I mean, it is just one of the huge things that she stresses that I don't know that I've ever had a one-on-one with Boz that she doesn't stress it, that I need to get my sleep going. So
well, by her little chart, I was at a 4 hour this morning.
That's me. I mean, yep,
that's her too.
It's the same thing. And you see the night and day difference in the people. And I'm telling you, his brain works good. He's so active all the time. His head hits the pillow.
I'm out. I mean, we push it. We're doing a lot of work right now. So, I mean, we'll be up till midnight tonight. Me and 6 hours sleep, I am grumpy. I'm not myself. I cannot do that. I need at least 8. And
But he's so good about it. His head will hit the pillow and he's out. I'll hit the pillow and my checklist starts. And then I got
Phone's out. It's like, dude, shut that off.
everything.
I go for dark room. I mean, if it's dark, I'm out. I mean, just boom, out.
But so all those things really matter. But I'm just so proud to be of all of you here, and what a blessing you've all been. And is there anybody else we didn't get it? Is everybody checked in at once too? Is everybody good? All right, guys. We just want to tell you we will be over in the 21-day thing first thing in the morning again.
And tomorrow, I need everybody to look out. I'm going to be throwing some stuff out. Tomorrow is a big day.
Yes.
Not only is it Friday the 13th, but we have some important news coming from Hack Your Health by KetoCon. Tomorrow is the day. They are going to start selling tickets for next year.
And I will tell
it
you,
starts tomorrow.
The code they've given us for tomorrow will be the cheapest one. You're going to be able to get tickets for the whole time. So if you have
a hefty one,
any inkling of going, tomorrow's the day to be.
Where is it?
That is in Tampa, Florida. It's at the Tampa Convention Center. It is November 14th through the 16th
of 2025.
2025. And if you've never seen anything from KetoCon or Hack Your Health, we were there last year. We did a lot of cool things with it. We actually had a booth. I did a live. I went around to see a lot of people. All the major players are there.
If you're going to go to one of them.
If you got a chance to go, and when we throw this coupon code out, you're going to love it. This is probably your best price ticket you'll get.
And just know, before it was always in Austin, Texas, and we love the program. We love Robin that runs it. It's just a good program. Austin's not an easy city to live in, though. That's where I had my heart attack, that we had to hang out for a month. It is not a cheap city to hang out in. It is not an easy city to get around. You know, we're from 3,000 person town. So Austin's a little culture shock for us, but being in Florida, I don't know why there's a calmness that comes over me. It's like, okay, I can do Florida.
It's the B word. It's beaches.
Beaches.
The sunshine state.
Right.
My condo's down there. I can get somewhere that it looks familiar. So,
and the big thing too, Boz, that's her town.
You know, Boz is in Tampa.
So
Robin's in Tampa. Benazati's in
Miami.
So there's so much good stuff that's going to be down there. So I am telling you, this Hack Your Health, I bet you, is going to be phenomenal.
It's going to rock.
So this will be our 4th year in a row.
And that's where KetoCon's out of too. That's their hometown, isn't it?
That is
Tampa.
KetoCon.
No, but that's their hometown.
Yes. That's Robin lives down there too.
Yes.
So Robin used to travel from Florida to Texas for the convention. So it's it's getting moved. So I'm telling you, if you're going to plan anything on your schedule, plan this one.
Yep. That's tomorrow it starts. So
tomorrow it starts. I don't know what he's got stuff lined up tomorrow.
We'll have the code coming out tomorrow in all the groups.
Does it sell out quickly?
Some of the bigger tickets do, yes.
The VIP tickets, it's one of those they sell tickets in levels. The VIP ticket.
VIP ticket, there's a general admission ticket, and there's also a virtual ticket. Those 3 tickets.
But the VIP one is so cool, because if you ever want to go rub elbows with the people that you listen to all day long, it's fun. I mean, it's just nice. We get to go to do a meet and greet where we get to meet all you guys, where we can get pictures with you guys. There's a dinner that everybody gets to go to, a VIP dinner that everybody gets to go and meet and greet and talk and sit down and have dinner with your favorite people.
Last at Austin, we had dinner with Benazati and his crew. So, I mean, it was really nice. It's
just fun. It's one of those things. How many places do you get to go that you don't have to answer to nobody why you're eating what you're eating? You don't have to justify. You don't have to make excuses. You don't anything, because the whole tribe is eating like you are. So it's
as long as you read the labels, there are some excellent samples. Right, Olivia?
So I can eat cheesecake.
No.
They have cheesecake there, I imagine.
But you gotta make the keto version of cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one thing I've mastered. I'm gonna have to make a video of that. I can make birthday cakes for my kids now that are cheesecakes. It's just cream cheese and some egg and a little bit. It's not bad. So it's a good compromise. That's a good dessert if you're a dessert person. We don't do dessert that often, but
anyway, guys, be watching the places tomorrow for this coupon code. We're gonna get it out and see if you can't join us in Tampa next November.
Yes. Everybody see you guys over in the big group. Keep your numbers going. Oh, sardine challenge starting tomorrow. Well, the post is up if some of you started today.
Yep.
If not, we're going to have 3 posts put up, day 1, day 2, and day 3. I don't care what your first day is. I don't care how many days in a row. It's 72 hours in a row. I will post over in the big group. I will put the blog post where it says the rules on how to do the sardine challenge. We'll put it over in the big group right now, but sign up, do the sardine challenge. I'm telling you, if you want to clean up some glucose, sardines will do it every time. So I got my CGM on. I'm connected to the
Oh
dashboard.
no, that means no sleep for me tonight.
So we are going to do this. We're in it together. So accountability and help each other along. Reach your hand out and pull somebody up behind you. We got this.
And it's awesome to meet there, all the newbies.
Yes. Nice to
Welcome.
meet y'all. See ya. Welcome to the tribe. Love y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.